All right, let's get right into it. Today, we are going to unpack a technique that will completely change the way you get results from AI. We're going to move past just asking questions and start teaching the AI how to give us those super specific, high-quality answers that we're all looking for.
You've probably felt this before, right? You ask an AI to do something, maybe summarize a text or generate an email, and what you get back is, well, it's fine, but it's just so generic, or it's a little off base, or it just completely misses the specific style you were hoping for. It's a really common frustration.
But what if I told you there's a simple method that could improve your AI's performance by up to 50%? Seriously, this is the kind of boost we're talking about today, and it all comes down to a powerful technique called few-shot prompting. So here's our plan. We'll start with the big idea, then see how it actually works, figure out where it fits into the grand scheme of prompting, and then wrap up with some tips to get it right. Okay, Section 1, a mini tutorial for AI. The best way to think about this whole thing is that you're becoming a teacher, and the AI, well, it's your new favorite student.
So, what is this thing really? Few-shot prompting is just a fancy way of saying you give the AI a few examples of what you want before you ask your actual question. You're just providing a couple of these input-output pairs to show it the exact pattern you're looking for.
I love this way of putting it. You're not just barking orders at it. You're running a tiny, super focused masterclass for the AI right there inside the prompt box. And that's what makes this so incredibly powerful and easy to grasp.
Now, when we say few, what do we really mean? We are not talking about some massive data set here. Nope. The sweet spot is usually somewhere between 2 and 10 examples. That's it. Just enough to establish a really clear pattern.
All right, on to Section 2, learning in context. How does this even work? I mean, how can an AI learn from just a handful of examples without some kind of complicated retraining?
The secret sauce is something called in-context learning. And this is crucial. You are not permanently changing the AI model. You're just giving it some temporary guideposts, a little bit of training data that it uses for this one interaction, and then, poof, it forgets. It's incredibly fast and immediate.
You know what? Let's just build one right now to see how this works. First things first, you state the task. You give a clear, direct instruction so the model knows what the goal is. In this case, it's classifying sentiment. Simple enough.
And here is where the magic happens. Next up, we add our few shots, our examples. By showing it a positive sentence and a negative one, we're building a clear pattern. You see the text on the left, you put the sentiment label on the right. The AI now gets the game we're playing.
And finally, once the AI has seen our pattern, we add our real query right at the very end. We give it the new sentence, and we just leave the sentiment part blank. Because we've already shown it the rules of the game, it knows exactly how to fill in that blank. It's that easy. Moving on to Section 3. Examples in action. So besides just classifying movie reviews, where else can we actually use this? The answer is pretty much anywhere you need a specific, structured result.
The applications are just so versatile. You can use it for sentiment analysis, like we just saw, or you could feed it a few English to French examples to guide a translation. You can teach it to spot clickbait. Or, and this is a fantastic one for any writers or marketers out there, you can give it a few paragraphs of your own writing to make it perfectly match your tone and style.
Okay, Section 4, the prompting spectrum. To really get the full picture, we need to see where few-shot prompting fits in with other techniques.
This is honestly the simplest way to think about it. Zero shot is when you give 0 examples. You just tell the AI what to do. It has to rely completely on what it already knows. Few shot, on the other hand, is when you show the AI what to do using examples. You aren't just telling, you are actively guiding it.
You know, looking at the trade-offs here really tells the whole story. Zero shot is super easy, but the performance is just baseline. On the other end of the spectrum, you've got fine-tuning. That's high effort, but man, the results can be incredible. And then right in the middle, you've got few-shot prompting, a low to medium amount of effort for a high-performance return. For most of us, most of the time, it is the perfect sweet spot.
So, you're ready to give it a shot? How do you make sure you do it right? Let's get into Section 5, crafting the perfect prompt. We're going to walk through a checklist for getting the absolute best results.
First, use examples that are clear and representative. Don't use weird edge cases. And give it a little variety to show the model the range. Consistency is everything, so keep your formatting exactly the same. Always include that clear instruction, and, this is a big one, put your actual question at the very end. And hey, don't be afraid to experiment. Tweak your examples and see what works best for you. But a quick word of caution here, more is not always better. There's a real law of diminishing returns at play. One example, that's a good start, but that 2 to 5 range is usually the optimal zone for performance. Once you start getting past 8 or so, you're mostly just adding length and cost because of tokens to your prompt for very little extra gain.
Let's bring this all home. Section 6. Show. Don't just tell. This right here is the core idea, the philosophy you should walk away with.
Knowing when to use it is really the key. The pros are huge. You get way better accuracy, more control, and more reliable outputs, all without having to retrain the model. The cons? Yeah, it takes a little more effort to write the prompt. And because it's longer, it uses more tokens, which can affect your cost or hit those context limits.
If you remember just one thing from all of this, let it be this mantra right here. You're enhancing your prompt. You're adding a few quick illustrations to show the AI the pattern, not just tell it. That simple shift from telling to showing, well, it changes everything.
And that leaves us with one final provocative question. This technique puts the power of teaching right in your hands. You can create these little mini experts on the fly with just a few well-chosen examples. So, if you can teach an AI anything,